Hi, this is Nathan at Ray Networks. This is video number 4 in our Macrium SiteDeploy series on how to set up and use Macrium SiteDeploy. If you watched video number 3, I showed you how to use the Macrium deployment media to both take a golden image and how to use the deploy button in the deployment media to push a golden image to a machine. In this video, I'm going to show you a second method to send an image to a machine to re-image it with one of our saved golden images. This is honestly the most utilized method for deploying machines because it's just so easy and seamless. And it also gives you some additional options that you don't get if you use the deploy button directly from the deployment media. Okay, so I think this is a very important video in the series, and especially if you intend to do imaging on a lot of machines, we're going to save you a lot of time showing you this method. Okay, so what we're going to use here is we're going to use the deployment targets menu inside our Site Manager management console. Okay, and what deployment target shows you are machines that are booted up on the network to your deployment media. So you can see this machine here that it shows me. This is actually the virtual machine that I was showing you in video 3 of the series. Okay, now we could have 20 machines booted up to our deployment media, and they would all show up in a list here, and we could deploy them all at the same time, which would obviously be an incredible amount of time savings to be able to image 20 or even 40 or more machines all simultaneously. But let's just focus on how to do this on one machine because the process is the same, whether we're doing 1 or 20 or 30 or 40. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to check the checkbox next to this machine, and you can see that the deploy button lights up. I'm going to go ahead and click that deploy button, and the first thing it asks me, similar to the deployment media that I showed you in video 3, is which golden image do you want to put on this machine? So we're going to select the golden image that we want to use, and we want to click Next. At this screen, it gives me some additional options that I don't get in the deployment media. These are all functions of using Microsoft SysPrep. You can see that our product integrates with SysPrep in that we ingest the answer file that you create with your Microsoft SysPrep options. We then take those SysPrep options and bake them into the imaging process. So you can see here that first we give you the option to name your computers. So let's say you had 20 laptops on a bench and I wanted them to be named, Nathan 01, Nathan 02, Nathan 03. We're going to basically put them in a numerical sequence here, 01, 02, 03, etc. We can even change the starting value. Maybe we want them to be 100, 101, 102, etc. But the bottom line is that we can name multiple machines in sequence so that we can knock out the process of naming the machines. We can also create a local user account on the machines. And if we were on a Windows domain, we could even join them to the domain in the process. Okay, so using this method, again, I'll just paint the picture here. Let's say we had 20 machines that we wanted to image. We could put all of them on a bench. We could boot all of them up to the deployment media and do a select all and push a deployment image to them, and it could happen all simultaneously. So this deployment targets option here in the management console is probably the most utilized way for doing image because we can do many machines at a time.